Hello and welcome back to day 52 of How to Fix the World in 80 Days, and today's subject is green space. So let's begin today's lesson with Science 101. Trees and plants are very important for your health because they help recycle CO2 into oxygen. Without oxygen, we die. So as gas prices, carbon taxes, and air pollution become even bigger concerns, I think even the biggest science denier would agree that more green space is a good thing. At the same time, empty space is at a premium. As our cities continue to expand, that leaves less and less room for green space. So how do we find the right balance between industrial expansion versus green, eco-friendly cities? Well, this is a great question, but honestly, I don't really have the answer. When I was researching, I had a really hard time finding the information I was looking for. Sure, there are plenty of websites and plenty of articles saying green space is good and this city has X amount of green space, but I couldn't really find details explaining, well, how much green space do we need per capita, or where should we put these green spaces to maximize efficiency? I'm not saying this information doesn't exist, I'm just saying I couldn't find it, and I'm usually pretty good at finding this kind of stuff. So that leaves us with the question of, well, what should we do? I mean, from a government perspective, sure, you can lobby them to build more parks and conserve more land and set more regulations, but that takes time and I would imagine is quite bureaucratic. So what can you do on your own to make more green space? I mean, I think even something as simple as planting a few trees, having a home garden, or participating in a park cleanup can make a huge difference, but I understand that not everyone is able or willing to do that. There is one idea that I think can make a massive difference on a much larger scale, and that is using our rooftops. If you look at a satellite image of a city, you'll see a bunch of roads and a bunch of green parks, but what you'll also see is a bunch of empty rooftops. Right now, these are completely unused, but they don't need to be. Am I saying it's plausible to convert every current rooftop into a green space? Obviously not, but it is something to keep in mind as we build moving forward. There's only so much space left in our cities, and rooftops are currently one of the only underutilized resources we have left. I don't know what our cities will look like in 20 or 50 years, but I think it'd be a shame if they weren't at least a little more green than they are right now. More than a shame, actually, it would probably be a health hazard, so it's very much in our interest to prioritize green space. Of course, we will need to keep expanding and we will lose more green space as a result, but it should not be one way or the other. Like it so often is, balance is usually the best approach. Green space is good. Now let's go save some more of it before there's none left to save.